And what worries me is the old officers' quarters that are located north of the Hacienda
Not in
Cafe.
good shape.
They're very dilapidated. They're a
Mhm.
fire and health hazard.
You know, we just
And
did a story about a part of Beaumont that is also very, very
yes, and
dilapidated.
they go back to 1880. And a large chunk of Hart's Mill, the old Globe Mills, the Rescue Mission, McKinney Record, that's all going to go away with the future extension of the border highway.
Right. Hmm. So, you know, one of the first, I want to ask you this. What do you think is the most overlooked historic asset of the El Paso region? We'll start with you.
Well, it may be Hart's Mill. That's one of the most historic places in North America. That is where the United States first was entered by anyone to conquer or settle. Like it or not, whatever they did, they made a huge influence.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not here to judge whether or not Oñate was a good or bad guy. What he did was monumental, and that's the point. And he did it right there. And then came along the Chihuahua Trail, came right after that, and then the Santa Fe Trail. That's all the same trail. So that's the most historic place in North America. It should be revered as much, and if not more, than Plymouth Rock. What do you think about that one?
Yes, Hart's Mill, as far back as the 1840s and 1850s, was a wayward point for the 49ers. It was where Oñate crossed in 1598. It's where the diversion dam was completed, so to give water to the Acequia Madre in Juarez and to the Franklin Canal in El Paso.
Very important.
And Hart's Mill, the Union Plaza District, Chihuahuita, Segundo Barrio, McGoffin Historic District, and downtown El Paso, and other neighborhoods, they're rich in history and they could be exploited also for walking tours. I do exhibits at the downtown library to cover their history, and I also do lectures. And my books bring all these different neighborhoods to the forefront.
One thing we don't have is promotion. And if we were able to take everything like Fred's talking about, all those subjects, and get them out there. So one thing we've done, the Historical Commission, is put a lot of this stuff on YouTube. You go to El Paso History TV, that's the channel on YouTube. Mm-hmm. We have 80 plus things out there, including a recent tour of Hart's Mill. We're trying to take on everything we can in El Paso and put it on television. So if somebody wants to search what is El Paso, they're going to get this stuff. So we're going to have the history of El Paso out there. And it's a great thing to do. What Fred does with his books, we're doing with television. That's the way I think we're going to get where we're going. The city, I don't think, has the capacity to actually promote history. The last time they tried that in a huge way, we got an equestrian statue. That's not the name of that statue. But to compromise, the city had to do that. Right. That's not history. That's politics. The guy was Oñate. He wasn't just an equestrian. But the politics, ruled the day, and that's what ended up. Private sector has promoted El Paso.
I have to stop you there because I know there are people watching who say that's not politics. That's heritage to some people. Some people say my heritage includes recognizing that Juan de Oñate massacred people and massacred indigenous people, and it's not about not recognizing his contribution or his actions or how consequential they were, but how you recognize that. Okay. And not celebrating or not portraying him as someone who was amazing when.
Well, you mentioned a comparison to New Mexico. They have Oñate statues all over the place, and they're not ashamed of them.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
That's Juarez.
That's true.
You have Oñate statues in Juarez, right?
Yes, you have one.
So it's an attitude. We got taken over by a TV producer. I know the guy. He did a video. He hired those demonstrators when the statue was put up. Did you know that?
No.
There are three pros and cons when it comes to Spanish conquistadors. It's been a hot topic throughout the American Southwest. Some look at them as invaders, as people that subjugated the Indian masses, and practically they destroyed I've heard, up to 50 to 100 million Native Americans on the American continent.